I'd only been in Uganda about 6 months before we were robbed by armed robbers. I was in Mbiko parish near Jinja, where I was lecturing, and we'd all just sat down in the evening for supper, and 3 armed men walked in the back door, which we'd conveniently left open. Because it was hot, and in the evening you left the door open. Being robbed was not a pleasant experience. It was the end of the month, so thankfully the parish priest had gone to the bank, which the robbers probably knew, and he'd collected salaries for workers, so we had money to give them. And because of that, they weren't violent, just aggressive and menacing. It was not a nice experience. And of course we did what everyone does after an event like this. We firmly bolted the stable door, double locked it, and made sure that the horse, which had already bolted, could never bolt again. We hired watch nights, we started locking doors, and we took security seriously. And we did, what we should have done months beforehand. If only we'd known. I was sent to Uganda by Tony Chantry, not to work in a parish, but rather to teach in the Philosophy Centre in Jinja, Our Lady Queen of Apostles. And this was where all the congregations and societies of consecrated life sent their students for studies. It was a philosophy centre, but I am not, thanks be to God, a philosopher. Rather, I am a theologian. And I was teaching an introduction to Christian doctrine. And on the first day of lectures, I told the students that St. Anselm of Canterbury said, "Theology is faith-seeking understanding." I said the first question in the exam will be, what is theology? And your answer is, theology is faith-seeking understanding, bracket, St. Anselm of Canterbury, close bracket. And I said, there you go, first question, five marks straight away. And they were happy, 3 marks. And I was happy. I guaranteed they would learn something. They would know something. As we approach Christmas, the time of Advent is given to help us prepare for the celebration of the birth of Christ. But at the start of Advent, we focus not on Christ's birth, but rather on Christ's second coming. Christ will come again. We announce this fundamental of our faith at every Eucharist we celebrate. We don't know when he is coming, but our faith centres around the fact that he will return. Jesus says to his disciples, be on your guard, stay awake, because you never know when the time will come. We know that Christ is coming, and thankfully, we know what he expects from us. He has already told us the content of our judgment. Christ is not capricious, he's not fickle. He has told us exactly what he wants, exactly what he expects from us, and exactly what we will be judged on. We can't say, if only we'd known. We know. We do not know the hour when the master of the house is coming, but we know everything else. We know on what we will be judged. The master will say to us, when I was hungry, when I was thirsty, when I was a stranger, when I was naked, when I was sick, when I was in prison, what did you do for me? Pope Francis tells us that this is not about charity. Rather, this is about the nature of Christ. Christ is the poor are Christ. So although Christ will come in glory to judge us, he is already present among us in the poor. And Christ expects us to care for him and for each other. Stay awake. We know that he is coming.